those who don't know me, I'm Charlotte and I have the privilege of leading the children's ministry at Holy Trinity Church, Sittingbourne. I thought it might be helpful to do some videos talking about our children's ministry, not only for the parents of the children that I teach, but also for the whole congregation to learn a little bit more about children's ministry. So what I'd like to do is share my thoughts on why children's ministry is so important, and also talk about what's going on at the moment in our church. So it's such an exciting time for children's ministry, and more people are realising the importance of investing in our young people at an early age. When I was a child, Sunday school used to be sitting, doing a bit of colouring, maybe hearing a story, sort of like a babysitting service while the adults went and did church. But thankfully those days are going now, and we're realising that children are so much more capable, and we're not underestimating their ability to understand the Bible and also use the gifts that they've been given. So it's so important that we don't miss this opportunity to teach our children. We need to act now and disciple children and lay a really solid, firm foundation at a young age. When children are aged between 4 and 13 years, they are most open to learn about the Bible and learn truths about who they are in Christ. More than half of the people who will ever believe in Christ will do so before the age of 12. By the age of 9, children's basic moral foundation has been formed, and by the time a child is age 13, they have formed the most basic beliefs and understanding of the world, of the relationships, of love, the reliability of the Bible, and what they believe the nature of God is like. It's also a season when children are most impressionable, so it's important that we get children's ministry right and teach them in a way that is authentic and relevant for their lives. Children are such an important part of our congregation. So I thought I would share some stats from the Church of England website on children's attendance in church. So you can find this information on their website. So this is the latest stats that were published at the end of last year. According to the Single Church Returns, 38% of churches have no children in their congregation aged 0 to 16 at all. 68% of them have 5 or fewer children, 0 to 16 years. The decline among the under 16 attendance is much faster than any other generation, and the average number of child attendance has decreased by 20% over the last 5 years, compared to a 12% decline in average adult attendance. So as you can see, there's been a real huge drop in children's attendance in church, and I feel there's a real urgency to review how we do children's ministry and how we can all be involved in that too. So to put these percentages into context for our church, we are part of the 4% of churches who have on average 26 to 50 children each week. So that's fantastic that we've got that amount, but we also need to think on how we can improve that, how we can keep those children in our churches, and how it's the job of not only myself, the whole congregation, parents, everybody can take a role in it too. So I'm just going to read from Matthew 19 verse 14. But Jesus said, "Let the children come to me, don't stop them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." It's made so evident throughout the whole of the Bible that children are so important to Jesus, and it's important that we value them too, and we realise how important they are and how valued they are in our congregation. Lots of people say to me, "Charlotte, your job is so important because you're teaching the future of our church." Now, on one hand, 100% agree with this statement, but also I believe that yes, these children are our future leaders, and we do have to teach them wisely and give them the tools they need to make a difference when they're older. But also, they're so much more than that. They're actually the church of today and the church of now, and they're doing amazing things right now. And I feel most of the time that children do it better than us because they are bold, they're brave, and they take risks, and they're not scared to look silly. They live out their faith in such an authentic way. So the children of our church are the now generation. They are the church of today. They are ready and they're eager to learn, and they're part of this. They want to be part of the same signs and wonders that us as adults get to take part in church. It's important that we don't play down what the children are capable of, and instead equip them so that they can really realise the calling on their life and make a difference now. Children are the future of our church, but also the church of today, and they need to be seen, and they need to be heard, and they need to be valued. So in Mark 16, from verse 15, it says, "And then he told them, 'Go into all the world and preach the good news to everyone, everywhere. Anyone who believes and is baptized will be saved, but anyone who refuses to believe will be condemned. These signs will accompany those who believe. They will cast out demons in my name, and they will speak new languages. They will be able to handle snakes with safety, and if they drink anything poisonous, it won't hurt them. They will be able to place their hands on the sick and heal them.'" So I think it's really important to recognise that when Jesus gave the Great Commission, he didn't put a minimum or maximum age limit on who could do that. He said, "Go into the world and preach the gospel." He didn't say, if you are over a certain age or if you are an adult, go and spread the gospel. Jesus said to every believer, go, which means all of our church, including our children, if they believe, they qualify to do these works of Jesus too. So how do we disciple children at Holy Trinity? How do we ensure that the children are having fun getting quality Bible teaching that excites them, and also have the opportunity to go deeper and be filled with the Spirit? On a Sunday morning, we enjoy doing crafts, we enjoy playing games, we enjoy being silly together, but we also make sure that we have time for worship, for teaching, for Bible study, for praying, for sharing testimonies, and also allowing time, some quiet time for the children to come into the presence of God and really be able to hear his voice. I believe the most effective way to disciple the children at church is by making God real to them. Children don't want to hear stories about miracles, about people being healed. They want to actually see it for themselves. They don't want to just learn about people who spoke in tongues. They want to do it themselves. They want to speak in tongues. We need to be equipping our children to do this and teach our children to be prayer warriors, to teach them how to prophesy. In our children's groups, we have pens and paper in our prayer spaces because the children have learnt how to listen to the voice of God, and they write down what they've heard from God. They draw pictures of what God's given to them. During sung worship, our children are going deeper. With the help of Ellie, she's just been such an amazing gift to the children's work, and together we are seeing children go deeper in worship, being filled with the Spirit, lifting their hands in praise. And it's so important for these children to have these experiences firsthand, in the same way as adults need to experience being filled with the Spirit. Children really long for a deep connection with God and a personal relationship with him. On a Sunday morning, we're also seeing children confidently leading a whole group of their friends in prayers and sharing testimonies of what God has been doing in their lives. They proudly share how at school they've prayed for their friends or shared something about their faith with their friends, and their confidence is so amazing. And I know that me and my children's team actually learn so much from the children in our group, and about being bold and about being confident in sharing your faith. We are so blessed at Holy Trinity to have so many young people on fire for God. We need to really make sure we are continuing to nurture them, support them, guide them, teach them as a whole congregation, and encourage them to go deeper and really push into what God has for them. So as a congregation, let's model to the children in our church how to be led by the Spirit within our worship, within prayer, within our daily lives. Let's not put a limit on what we believe children are old enough to handle and what they're capable of. What would the next generation of Holy Trinity look like if we all fully invest in our young people? So if you've made it this far, well done. I'm going to stop here. I hope you've learnt something new this morning, and I hope that it has been an opportunity to start new conversations with your children about what they do on a Sunday morning. And after this video, I will be having a poll to see when it would be a good time to have a Zoom call with you all after my next video. My next video is going to be focusing on discipling your children at home. I thought we could all come together and chat about that after that second video and talk about what we all do at home with our children and share ideas. So that will be next week after my second video, and I'll be putting a poll up on Facebook to see when would be a suitable time to do that Zoom call. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.